Why, hello there. Good meowing, good afternoon, or good evening. Let me adjust my chair for you for a second. Whatever time it is for you, thank you all so much for stopping by, and welcome to tonight's stream. I am very excited because we have a special sponsored stream tonight. The lovely Nochi Studios reached out to me and were like, hey, would you like to play our game? And I was like, yes, I would. So tonight we have Moondusk Masquerade, which I am very, very excited to play. Let me see, what day did they say it comes out? Yes, so the game officially launches in 2 days. On August 11th, it officially launches. So that is very exciting. We're playing this a little early. So if you haven't already wishlisted it and you're interested in this type of game, I have pinned in chat the link to the Steam page. And I highly recommend you go give it a wish list if you're interested. But yeah, I do believe Dev said they would probably be lurking in YouTube chat. So, you know, hello Devs. Thank you so much for letting me play your game. I'm excited. I took a look at the boys and they looked pretty. And we all know that I do love me some pretty boys. So, let's give a couple seconds to let the music finish out, and then we will slide over. Da, 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 da. Okay, well, that's good enough. So let's pop over here now. Hello, hello, hello. It's me. And we have Moondusk Masquerade. All of these guys are so cool. They're so pretty too. They're so pretty. Let me get that open. So yeah, because we are currently pre-release date, I will not be streaming anything through their actual routes. That is the one little embargo that I have. But that's all right. I'm excited to I just want to jump in, so let's just jump right in. All right. Start the... Oh, create a save. Yum. Oh, thank you so much for offering me a chance to play it. I really appreciate it. All right, our name. We always go Prince. That's just always how it is. Once upon a time, the fair lunar lands of Celaroon were where all of my favorite storybooks and fairy tales took place. A realm where enchanting surprises would welcome you in every corridor. Be it the endless crescent cascades or gossamer delights, or perhaps if you're lucky, even the hand of a handsome fairy prince. There was a time where I believed that I would someday find myself in such a world. Don't we all? A world beyond the rosy fields of Estim, where I once called home. Oh, once? And now, I wake up every morning in Celaroon. Oh, wishing I could reverse my fate. I got my wish, and I regret it. Amazing. Oh, anemone. Prince! Prince, where are you? I can't find my other dancing slipper. Prince, I need you to finish combing my braid out. Oh, and my hem needs mending. My brooch tore it again. A, why are you wearing your brooch on a hem? That's not where brooches go. Usually brooches go kind of like straight in the like mid bust area, like over your heart or on the other side, depending on however you wish. Putting a brooch on a hem is just asking for issues. So I think, no, you brought that upon yourself. Also, we're apparently a servant now. Prince, where could you have possibly hidden that other bloody slipper? Truly embodying the cat, I have hidden your shoes. Didn't you hear me? You need to bring the needle and thread now. Prince! Prince! This is my life now. Oh, we don't sound all that happy. A life of servitude in the court of Moondusk. Oh, the moon's court where the lunar fairies are associated with the moon and nocturnal flora and fauna. Gotcha. The fairies here say that I should be grateful for having been spared and taken in instead of being banished back to Vestim after the Chroma Wars. Oh. A series of recent wars between Vestim's mortals and Celerune's courts in which mortals wiped out the umbral fairies. Yeah, that actually makes sense why they wouldn't like us then. It had all happened when I was just a child with nowhere left to call home, and all because my fellow mortals had tried to conquer the forbidden realm of the lunar fairies. Yeah, that sounds like a mortal thing to do. In the process, the mortals even led the extinction of the umbral fairies, a special species with shadow abilities presumed to be extinct. Whoops. After being eradicated by mortals. Whoopsies. Hi, Bling. Needless to say, the fairies were the clear victor in that war. Yeah, I bet. With their shrill voices and pattering across every room, I have no choice but to figure out which of my foster sisters to attend to first. Ah, we're Cinderella! Choosing either of them first is always going to be the wrong answer, but here goes nothing. I brought the needle and thread, Briar. Which part of the hem needs mending? All of it, really. How did you fuck it up that bad? I never realized that you left it uneven, and I can't stop looking at it. Oh no! Curse your ISP. Well, thank you for stopping by while you could. I mean, of course you had to stop by and get your bean stamp, but, you know. You must continue your reign of terror, toe beans. Just look at that raw edge right here, see? No matter how many times I stare at the hem, all I see is my delicate needlework alongside a perfectly scalloped edge. Ugh, I don't do a ton of sewing, but to hand hem a scalloped edge sounds like torture. Are we looking at the same spot? Because I don't see any... Well, of course you don't. You just don't want to take any responsibility for it. Oh. Huh. I knew I should have just pushed Mum to have the tailor take care of it. Why she even insisted upon letting you put your grubby hands on it, I'll never know. Murder. If only Lady Rodona would stop clenching her purse as usual, but I've lived long enough with the Oberst Aries to know that'd be the real fairy tale. Honestly, the last thing I need is to be looking like I've been caught in the wind right next to when Prince Callan Right when. Whoopsies. right when Prince Callan asks me to. By Cosmia's fate, Prince! Clad in crinkled satin, an enemy comes crunching in and yanks me by the arm. Are you spellbound, or do you think you simply get away with by ignoring me? The carriage has already arrived, and I still can't find my dancing slipper. What do you think Mother will do if she sees that I'm not wearing the diamond pair she bought for me to match my mask? Did you check under the bed? That's where the ruby slippers were last time. Well, You go check for me. I've already looked everywhere and I'm frazzled as it is. No, Prince, you need to fix my hem. How about you wait until after I find my slipper? How about you wait for once instead of always going first? How's that possible? And it's always you who's... Darlings, please, the carriage is already here. You both best be making your way to it now. The last thing you want is for one of the Meadowberry sisters to steal the first dance with Prince Callan, as usual. I'll be ready in a moment's breath. As will I, Mummy. I wouldn't dare let Lavender Meadowberry take my spot again. Maybe Lavender Meadowberry should take more than just your spot. Maybe she should also take your life. You'll still have to wait for the second spot once Callan asks me first, though. I will not. Darlings, carriage now. Your father is waiting. As for you, Prince. With a sharp breath, Lady Rodora points to me. I know I should be afraid of what's to come, but surely it's nothing I've seen before from my so-called foster mother. It's nothing I haven't seen before, I guess. That is, if she even cares to call herself that anymore. My dear, dear Prince. Oh, nothing bereaves me more than having to remind you that what this evening means to this family, especially to your sisters. Our attendance to this masquerade ball is not only necessary, but also a duty to this court. I'll have you know that if one of your sisters does well for herself tonight, even you might come to reap some of the benefits. Perhaps then you wouldn't lament your lack of invitation now, would you? Huh? Well, you shouldn't even be upset at us for omitting you. The Moondusk court has its traditions regarding certain species, especially since the war ended, so why not simply support your sister's prospects instead? I don't Maybe I don't even want to go. Have I considered? Maybe a quiet night in is everything I need. Perhaps I'll find my own invitation someday. We're gonna be sweet. As much as I want to rip her head off, we're gonna be sweet. Well, perhaps I'll find my own invitation someday. Perhaps. Yet, for someone who claims to be grateful for being rescued when she did, one would think you'd cease making this about yourself again. With the current negotiations in place, I hardly doubt the court has any plans to change their stance on mortals and Vestim anyway. You're not about to say that you miss that wretched place, do you? One would reasonably miss anywhere they once had pleasant memories in. Surely you're not referring to the ones with your neglectful family, are you? Well, you're here, so... No. The ones who would rather let you starve than to stop invading our realm's portals? You've made your point, my lady. I don't need the memories. Well, good, because I wouldn't want you to be recollecting anything shocking. In fact, consider it a blessing in disguise that you won't have to be subjected to tonight's gossip. Yeah. There are certain families who still don't see eye to eye about sparing the surviving mortals after the war, and that's heartbreaking, isn't it? Now, mind the house and see to it that breakfast will be ready for us by the time we return in the morning. Oh, and one more thing. Yes? Anemone wants milk berries with her morning porridge, freshly plucked. With that, Lady Ordora dons her plumed mask and struts out the door. As soon as the carriage disappears, I finally come to my senses. Freshly plucked? As if I didn't pluck milk berries yesterday! Holding my tongue, which we don't have to. I assume we're the only one here now. I pick up my basket and march straight to the garden. Milk berries? Why milk berries? I really hope this time I don't get stung again. I cautiously approach the capricious little sapling in the corner. It already seems to know I'm back again. As always, it starts coiling into a spiral and shakes its bulb like a rattlesnake. Oh no, not today. Although, if I'm being honest, you'd be the least venomous creature I've had to deal with this morning. Evening. Incorrect time of day. Setting my basket aside, I kneel down to figure out my proper angle of attack. When it comes to celestial flora and fauna, the rule is to assume that everything is looking for the chance to outwit you. Or rather, to mainly outwit mortals. Let's see, I suppose I could try the calyx this time. The sapling's already shaking its head at me, but it knows I won't give in easily. As I reach in, I notice something sparkling from the moonstone blossoms nearby. Oh? What's happening over there? To the sapling's relief, I head towards the delicate light where a crystal envelope rests on the blossom's luminary petals. It's an envelope of some kind. But for whom? Hi, Layla. Thanks so much for stopping by. I can't tell what it's made of, but the paper keeps catching the moonlight just like the blossoms. Do you think it's because the paper itself is made of moonlight? Oh, that's a voice. I was like, interesting question to ask, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm not quite... Huh? I stop at once, but, I don't see anyone else in the garden. Where did that voice come from just now? From the messenger, of course. What voice do I want to give that? What voice do I want to give the voice? You know what?
We'll go from the messenger, of course. Down here, Prince.
Down by the door?
No, down here, right beside you.
The largest moonstone blossom unravels its leaf on my hand. They said
I'd find you here to deliver your invitation, and I believe I just did.
My invitation? To where?
To the Moondusk Masquerade Ball, of course. Didn't anybody tell you that it's tonight?
I kept waiting for someone to come out of the bushes, but there's no one here but me, and one very loquacious flower.
I take it this is your first time to the ball, Prince? They say tonight's gonna be a special one, perhaps even fortuitous. Prince Callan is expected to choose at least 3 potential suitors to dance with. That's 3 dances, 3 chances to lose yourself in those midnight eyes.
Those brooding eyes, you mean? I've seen Anemone and Briar sketches of him hidden under their pillows.
Well, they say he might not be so brooding once his special guest arrives tonight.
The flower keeps gleefully pushing the letter towards me, its petals rustling under the shimmering moonlight.
Go on, it's your time, Prince!
I mean, what is this game? This is, it's kind of like Cinderella. It's like a Cinderella story with fairies. You know what? I'm gonna assume that this is... I mean, well, the flower said my name. You know what? Yeah, this has to be a mistake. This has to be a mistake.
Oh, how come? You are a prince, right? The foster daughter maid of the Oberstarry house?
Yeah. Well, more or less, but I'm also
You're a what?
I'm also simply under the impression that guests like me aren't allowed to attend. Or has that rule since changed?
No, not exactly.
Here's your invitation. Go to something you're not really allowed in. Well, okay, but the protagonist lives in fairyland now, so I assume we also tried to pick berries from a tree that seemed to be what's it called? Not lucid. Lucid. You know, sentient. The trees seem to be sentient. So I think talking flowers are honestly the least of our problems.
But since when have their rules ever applied to creatures like us? Hi, Zatuga. Hello. What they won't know won't hurt them. For now, that is. Then again, the war has left my peddled friends with some choice opinions about Celestites anyway.
You know what? No, but this flower might be sending me to something that could get me killed, so maybe. I never realized that the fairies had also waged war with their very own flora.
Well, that's a tale for another day. I should consider myself lucky that you're paying this much attention to me, but I'd also be a menace if I don't send you off already.
As much as I like that, I don't have much of anything, let alone for a ball. Unless you consider a basket a respectable accessory.
Oh. Well, how about I sort that out for you? That way, you can't give me any more excuses.
How do you plan to do that, little flower? Pray tell. Oh, okay. You're gonna tell me.
Now, all you have to do is pluck one of my petals.
Will that kill you?
Nonsense! I have a strong one.
Sure.
Now just pluck a petal and fold it into the letter. Then hold it out to the moonlight, and before you know it...
Look, maybe the flower is a small masochist. The second I give my offering to the moon, thin silver wisps start binding onto my clothes. A euphoric light soon overtakes me, adorning me in a silhouette made of stars and tiny moonstone blossoms. Fuck! Magical girl transformation! It's not until the flower gives a delightful laugh that a glittering mask graces my face and seals my fairy disguise. Oh.
It looks like someone's finally ready! I'm quite pleased with your mask. I'd say it's lovelier than any of mine.
How is all of this possible? Well, how is this all possible? Flip those words there. I've known of Celestite magic since I was brought here, but the Oberstarries have never been capable of something like this before. If you're the messenger, then who sent you here?
Didn't I tell you that you only have so much time? Right at this moment, there's a ball missing the one guest they don't realize they need the most. So go on, Prince. They're waiting for you.
As the flower playfully laughs. I spot a floral carriage already waiting for me in the front of the manor. Oh, so instead of a fairy godmother, we have a flower. For all the times I wished upon the moon to change my miserable fate, is this really how it's finally sending its miracle out to me? Will it really come down to a flower, a mask, and a single night to unravel my destiny under the moonlight? Here's so. Even before the carriage comes to a stop, the first glimpse ahead of the decadent spires of Australia leaves me speechless. Yeah. The name of the Moondusk Court's lavish palace, belonging to the Celestite family where the Masquerade takes place. For years, I've grown up listening to Briar and Anemone gush about the royal family's palace. Eventually, the topic would always lead back to Prince Callan's enormous assets, though they'd often bicker about which ones. Wait, are they fighting boobs or dick? That's amazing. I think, yeah, they're talking about he's got good tits or he's got a good dick. Or real estate, honestly. It could be any of the above. But now that I'm finally here, I'm realizing that their tales pale in comparison to the majesty before me. I step out of the carriage as masked guests show their invitations to the guards at the door. Not taking chances, I wait until they're busy with another family for me to glide past them and head for the silver stairs inside. At once, I'm welcomed into a world of twinkling gowns and heaven-wisped masks. Their glorious facades bear no hint of class, nor sensibilities even for that matter. As I can barely tell whether the boisterous mothers who are pushing their offsprings to go fill their dancing cards are either peasants or nobles, I'm starting to see a pattern between the Oberstaries and the other noble families of this court. However, they're still considered tiers away from the highest class in attendance tonight. I make the mistake of turning around right as a guard spots me for the staircase. Oh no, surely he knows. I don't waste time searching for a corner to hide, but if only I can make it past this crowd. Hi, May! Thanks so much for stopping by. Hydration? Okie dokies. Ugh, no more shrimping too. Goodness gracious. Let me shrimp in peace. Ugh, well, I actually just finished stretching, Lilith, so. The guard picks up his pace, refusing to lose sight of me. Despite my own mask and borrowed wings tucked under my luminescent cloak, guests are also beginning to look my way. Soon Lady Wardora might notice too, or worse. You there, in the silver, where's your invitation? We can't let you in without a... Oh. Alstroemeria. Oh. Argento, what has the court told you about scaring our special guests? Oh god, I have to give him a voice. This is Prince reaches into the bag of voices, rummages around and goes, we'll give it a shot. Yeah, some of these I'm gonna have trouble with that one. I may just end up calling him Al. Argento, what is the court... Whoa, that was a voice crack. Argento, what has the court told you about scaring our special guests? Sure, that'll be the voice I give this guy. It's kind of like shonen protagonist. But also... Yeah, it'll work. Guest, is she yours then? Oh, fuck, please don't make me say his name again. Oh, wise Alstroemeria. If that's what it'll take for you to return to your post, then yes, absolutely. Well, go on then. Can't you tell that you're already frightened my guest? Oh, it's... Woman? Whoopsies! I was... You know what? I functioned under the assumption. I made an assumption. With her. Okay, I'm sorry. Gotta give you a whole different voice, ma'am. With her regal cape swishing behind her, the masked magician gracefully offers me her arm. So, all right, I'm gonna flip it on the head. I'm gonna give her the fan service voice to make up for the fact that I just gave her shonen protect. Come along. I've been wondering when you'd arrive. I was even starting to get a little worried if you'd lost your way. You've been expecting me? Oh, so you're a woman? Oh. Well, it appears that you're my guest now, aren't you? Yeah, Al was just trying out some voice training. Yeah, it was a spell. As the Grand Estelle of this court, I was indeed told that I could invite whomever I desired. The Grand Star, a term for the highest court magician and a name attributed to the Alstroemeria, who's an alchemical master of the moon and stars. Funny how that works, isn't it? Chuckling to herself, Alstroemeria sneaks a glance at Argento. Once the guard finally turns away, she drapes some of her cape down my back as we walk together. Is that necessary? Oh, it's always so amusing when he knows he has to give up. As you can see, there's nothing fearsome about Argento. You simply have to know how to give him your most affirmative voice, and he'll assume anything you say. Has come from His Majesty's orders, or mine. It's amusing watching the expression he makes whenever you say it, although yours is quite a sight as well. Why so surprised, my dearest guest? Are you my flower? I can't save. I can't save during choices. Collectibles. Oh, I can't save. Okay, save. Okay, cool. You know what? Let's ask the hard-hitting questions first. Are you my flower?
Are you my flower?
I don't know. Am I your flower? Are you trying to tease me about my name? Huh? I'll have you know that I'm quite fond of it, so much so that I'm curious to know what it'll sound like when you call me by it. Oh, don't get your hopes up. Shouldn't I be calling you by your court title, Grandia Stella? Well, we're gonna just slide right past the fact that I just asked if you're a flower. Yeah. Perhaps you should be when we're among other officials of the court, but I don't mind if we made this our first little secret. Or if you found my name to be a bit too long for your tastes, why not call me Maria for short? Oh, not Al? Well, I guess Maria is a little more effeminate than Al. So you know what? Yeah, Maria. Please never make me say your full name. You won't like it. Although, if you were trying to tease me just now, then I should point out that I'm the one who picked you out of tonight's celestial bouquet. Huh? Doesn't this instead make you my flower? Well then, we should make haste. I'm sure the Callan will appreciate the introduction. Wait. You don't mean the Prince Callan, do you? Well, of course it's him. There's only one Callan in this region, and he's currently off in a corner, severely lacking in stimulation. Wait, yeah, well, I'll just be everyone's flower, and you'll be my flower. We'll all be flowers. We'll trip. We'll just have a bad trip and call each other flowers. Somebody needs to get that prince to see the light, and I decree that it should be you. Am I dreaming? I couldn't possibly have heard her say that I'm going to be the one to save his night. As we cross into the labyrinth of masks, my world only becomes more surreal. Surely, this must all be one feverish dream. Yeah, you know what? Royal decree, there is only one Callan. No one else can name their child Callan. Otherwise, how am I supposed to believe that Prince Callan will spare me a greeting tonight, let alone a conversation? I do not believe Callan will get the shonen voice. Yeah. And then what? Will he suddenly get down on one knee and propose to a mortal maid before this judgmental court? I can't even let myself believe that the Aberstaries would set this up for their own cruel amusement, but who else would do such a thing? While offering smiles to the other guests, Maria soon leads me to a corner swathed in silk curtains and marble pillars. Yeah. My eyes first wander to the kingly fairy masked in gold and his ethereal queen as a servant offers them each a chalice. And brooding beside them in the midnight cloak is... That's really Prince Callan? Wow. He's got white shoulders. Now I'm certain that this is a dream. Why only a dream? A magician's senses never lie, and this one's never been wrong when it comes to reading between the lines. So then, before we go any further, Maria gracefully takes it upon herself to straighten my outfit. Thanks. All you need to know about addressing His Majesty is one simple rule. You must never assume that you'll always have the last word. Huh? Why would I make that assumption? When it comes to Callan, however, perhaps you could tempt his mood a little. What? Huh? I don't know. What would make you tempt fate? Well, I don't mind a little temptation every now and then, but being the kind of fairy I am is both a blessing and a curse. As a magician blessed by the flower clock in the heavens. The what? I know too much to ever be surprised, and too little to ever be wholly satisfied. And then again... Maria brushes a stray lock of hair back and thumbs at my earring until it catches the light. Also, can we please go back to the flower clock? What do you mean? I ought to be telling you to set your sights on someone grander, but that smile might just be enough to turn me a little selfish someday. If such a thing were to ever happen, then I'd be asking for a delicious sort of danger, now would I? You've lost me. Madam, you've lost me. Maria finishes off by gently flicking the pearls hanging off my mask. What are you doing? There, now you look perfect. Perfect for whatever destiny awaits you. With the wave of Maria's hand, the servants welcome us into the private royal circle. I think she did just vandalize our mask. I think she removed some items. I want to trust Maria that this isn't a dream. Despite knowing nothing about her, I'll trust her, sure, why not? But how could someone explain being within King Kalis and Queen Kalmien's presence like this? I'm even well aware that not just anybody gets to meet with them at their leisure. Not even the Oberstaries have mentioned sharing anything more with them than a greeting before. Spotting us, the king and queen beckons us with matching mysterious smiles. Oh, fuck, okay.
There you are, Maria. We were just wondering where you'd run off to this time.
Was it? Oh yeah, Oberstaries. Oops. I mean, this game, it is still in beta. I mean, it comes out in 2 days, but it's still in beta. So I will cut major slack. Yeah, exactly, May. What could go wrong with trusting the self-proclaimed fairy heaven flower clock magician? That's a sentence.
Don't you see that she's brought a guest? A lovely one, as it seems. You always seem to have a good eye for the best dressed of the night, my dear.
All but Callan share a chuckle as he leans against the pillar. Oh.
I'll gladly accept the title. I thought the very same thing as soon as she came through the doors. Imagine to my surprise when she not only revealed that she's an impeccable sense of style, but that she's an absolute delight.
Why are you hyping us up? You've known me for less than 2 minutes.
As a matter of fact, I believe our guest here might have a thing or two in common with a certain son of yours.
What? Confused?
Oh, did you hear that, my son? Maria has found you a good conversationalist.
Doesn't that inspire any ideas? You've yet to offer any dances tonight.
With a husky sigh, Callan finally pulls away from the pillar to face me. Dear Lord, switching between these voices really is a workout. The moment his eyes soften, I almost forget to breathe.
Would you like to dance?
Yeah, you know what? That's the voice I'm gonna give him.
Hi, I'm Callan. Would you like to dance?
Even before I've taken a step, Maria prods me towards him.
Yes, of course I'd like to share a dance with you, Your Highness. Apologies for forgetting my formalities.
I don't mind. Neither do my parents if you believe such a thing.
He's telling the truth. On a night like this, everyone can fancy themselves whomever they want to be. For once, we don't see it fit to question it, not when something thrilling might come from all this.
Yeah, you're close. Yeah, Caleb, Silas, that's okay. You mixed them together. You formed a new man.
So run along, my dears, and enjoy that good conversation. I'll be waiting here for Maria, perhaps starting on those cards and invitations.
Mother, please.
Yeah, Kalis is their kid. Kaelin is quick to offer me his arm and lead me off their circle before Mother can say any more. Yeah. Before leaving, I spot Maria taking a seat beside the queen and helping herself to a chalice. Something tells me that they'll be toasting once we're out of sight. Should I be worried if they do? Everything's happening so fast, and yet it feels like only until today has someone chosen to answer my prayers. Also, they chose to answer my prayers in a very oddly roundabout way. Especially to have this moment here right now with him. Wow. We've spoken 2 sentences, and I mean, yeah, you're hot, but wow. While the celestial lights and ornaments inside the palace are sights to behold, the gardens are the true wonders of this sparkling night. The more I see of this place, the more it's getting to be harder to tear myself away from it. Oh, yeah? No matter what Maria thinks, I'm still convinced that this might be the only time I'll ever admire this realm in the way I do now. I mean, if I go back home, I'll be a maid again. For as heavenly as it is, it's not without its grim reminder of what could have been lost at the hand of mortals, and why this place will never welcome us again.
We should be here. We should be safe here from wandering eyes for now. Or rather, my mother's. And perhaps Maria, although she's not at all like the rest of us.
How so, Your Highness?
Some of us wear our masks for one night only. Others wear theirs all the time, where they might as well be etched into their faces. However, I doubt this is the conversation you've been waiting to have with me all night.
I mean, at this point, I'm half convinced that I'm tripping, so why not?
Besides,
Pushing his cloak aside, Callum offers me his hand.
I promised you a dance, didn't I?
How could I say no to that elegant face? Reaching forth, I let Callan guide me into a slow waltz under the orchid arches. I love that we left the castle to dance. He was like, I have to go. We have to get out of here.
So, you're a friend of Maria's, are you? Is that all I'm gonna wind up knowing about you tonight?
Well, what more would you like to know?
About the fact that I can tell you've never danced with another before. Since we started, you've been hesitating on how to let me lead. Don't tell me this is really your first time.
What would you say if it was, Your Highness?
If it is, then I'd say you have more courage than I do in that aspect. In spite of many lessons my parents have put me through, I still don't think I can dance as well as at least half my partners. Nope. I don't think I can dance as well as half of my last partners claim that I do. The only thing I'm grateful about all these lessons is that it means I can teach you. Now, let me be the one to lead.
He's so commanding. I mean, that makes sense, though. But there's a softness in him that's finally coming through. Stop making me do math. And no matter what he says, he's quite a skilled dancer. One would have to be to guide me into such a spin.
See what happens when you let me lead? Although, I should admit you have a keen sense of timing. Maybe better than I do.
You don't have to flatter me so much, Your Highness. I'm well aware that I still have so much to learn about this court and dancing in general.
So that's why I haven't seen you here before. Tell me, are you from the Sunbloom Court then?
The Sun's Court, where the fairies absorb the powers of the sun and heliotropic flora and fauna.
Or are you from Serenvale?
The Stars Court, where the fairies absorb the powers of the stars and celestial forces. Couldn't that be something I could share with you another day? As the Queen said, perhaps tonight is the night where I could pretend to be one of your court and only yours.
Or you could also let me guess if you won't tell me. Between you and me, I can be quite impatient for the truth.
Wow, whoops. Is that all you're impatient for, Your Highness? Callan stops our waltz, and he only grows more intense once he sees our hands still intertwined. Even the Lunarian roses have stopped rustling around us, as if waiting to listen for his next words.
Contrary to what this court says, I'm not here to make any promises to anybody. Not to myself, nor to any betrothed.
Hearing that, somehow this garden seems more lifeless than when we stepped into it. What else was I expecting him to say? I don't know, Game Prince. What were you expecting him to say? Were you expecting him to be like, I must marry you. I'm going to sweep you off your feet.
Okay, sleep well, Lilith. Thanks for stopping by.
Even I know that'd be asking for too much too fast. Yeah, we were expecting him to propose apparently. But then, why does my heart still feel like it's shattering?
I don't know. I take it you've heard the gossip in the little time you've been here? I shouldn't be so surprised. Since the war, it seems like everyone's been waiting for some new beacon of hope or change. But instead of asking me of my plans to protect this court, they'd rather ask me who I'm gonna marry. What if marriage has always been the last thing on my mind?
Well, I mean, what if? That's fine. This is a bad option. I suppose a prince can survive on trysts. No. Don't you ever want to know how it feels to fall in love?
No, but don't you ever want to know how it feels to fall in love?
I'm curious to know which court you're really from. Even then, most monarchs have rarely ever been brought together by love rather than by power. At best, they'll manage to learn how to use each other to get their way. Now, that's one thing that makes us no different even from mortals.
That's two things that mortals have in common with Celestites, then. Despite what they say, I know they still believe in the importance of love.
Is that what you really think?
Well, don't you think that every creature should experience love at least once in their lifetime? Perhaps if more creatures could ever experience such a wondrous thing, they'd realize the real magic they're capable of.
Does that mean that you've experienced such a feeling already? With someone else?
Are you getting jealous? My silence only lures him closer, his hands searching for how to keep me here with him.
I told myself earlier that I wouldn't ask for your name.
Yes, sir! I love Jesus! Yes, sir, I'm a devout... I'm planning to be a nun! I'm gonna run away from home and go to a nunnery, which definitely exists here in Fairyland. 100%. If not, I'll start a nunnery. Do you think fairies want to be nuns, sir? I'll be the first nun
But if it's not a name I'll get tonight, then what else can you give me? Will you at least tell me why you feel so familiar and yet realms apart from me?
Actually, I don't even know that answer.
Perhaps it's because we've both been looking for something new to believe in, something to tell us there's a better path ahead. Otherwise, will either of us ever be satisfied by staying as prisoners of our own lives?
Oh. Who are you?
Don't worry. Oh, how long have I been caught by the spirits? No. Come on.
Okay.
Goodness gracious, the spirits.
Okay, here we go. Who are you?
His fingers tilt me to him, then gently brush up to my mask. I can feel his fingertips latching onto my mask, ready to peel it away from me. Sir, please. A part of me wants to stop him, but the other half of me wants to know if this is the moment that will change everything. Suddenly, a dark aura soars into the night skies and shrouds the moon above into an eclipse. At once, Callan pulls me into his grasp as we both watch in silent terror at the sable mist sprawling towards the castle's spires.
Stay close to me. I didn't think the beast would come tonight.
The beast? The beast? What beast? First talking flowers, now beasts? Talking flowers, heaven floral clock fairies, and now beasts. Talking flowers, clock fairies, and beasts, oh my!
The penumbral beast.
A wraith-like creature. Thank you.
Back when the mortals of Vesdom tried to return through the Austradia portal after seizing our magic, their souls were caught in limbo and then torn apart from them.
Okay, the cosmos manifested as an astral flower clock. Aye, aye, Captain, alright. It also creates the portal that separates Celeroon and Visdom, which Mary is tasked to protect.
Okay. Those shadows up there are all that remain, and so the beast waits for nights like these to wreak its havoc. To wreak its havoc upon the castle.
Only the castle?
If we don't stop it, could very well try to attack the villages next. I suspect the other guests have sensed it too by now, my parents as well. At the first chance we have, we should start the incantations ourselves, and then I'll take you back to the ballroom myself.
Start the incantations, what?
What incantations?
How do you not know your elemental rights?
As Callan towers over me for an answer. Well, sir, I have amnesia. Yeah, that's that. Let's spin the lies further.
Maria comes rushing out the doors with the king and queen in tow. Soon more of the guests come pouring through from all sides of the castle.
The penumbral beast has returned. Callan, my son, you must lead the rites. Summon the knights as well, especially Lear. He should assist you.
Why, Lear? I'm already gonna commence the rites myself. I'll be finished by the time he decides to join if he even does.
Yep. It allows you to, it brings up a menu. Collectibles, save, or options.
We have plenty of other guests should we need them to help us craft a shield.
With the other Celestites rushing through the garden, I'm beginning to lose sight of Callan. One by one, they're quick to reveal their majestic wings and summon the moonlight at their fingertips. All the while, I realize it's only a matter of time before Callan expects me to summon a light that I can't possess. While not all fairies have as strong an affinity for the moon as Celestites, they can all still make contact with it. Only mortals can't, no matter how hard they wish or try. Surely once this creature is gone, Callan will want an explanation from me. If he doesn't, then there's no doubt that the king and queen will, and will have a punishment ready for me. Callan is far away from me now as he leads the knights and guests in conjuring an oral shield around the castle. Somewhere in the crowd, Maria must be using her powers too. I want nothing more than to go back to them, even if it's just to say goodbye. Even if they don't understand, I want to thank them for encouraging me to take this chance. Because even if tonight wasn't about me finding my destiny, I still got to taste something that I could never have again. All of a sudden, a gloved hand pulls me straight back inside and drags me into the nearest corridor. Oh, okay. Ah, stop! Let go of me!
Oh. Hello, sir. And what? Let me ruin your precious disguise? I can tell you've been putting a lot of effort into it. Still not enough to get past me. Whomever you bartered with it for is clearly skilled in the finest of magics. The stranger finally lets go of me once we reach a secluded corner. Finally, I can take a good look at him as he calmly smooths out his cloak.
That brooch on your belt, is that a royal seal?
He does have a giant bowl. By gods, no. It's the seal of an honorary guest of the court. I'm no prince, but I'll surely be your knight.
I'm suddenly recalling the king's words to Callan.
Are you Sir Lear? Or wait, you can't be if he's out helping Prince Callan.
Oh, but I will help him shortly. I just have something far more pressing to attend to than the usual phantasm of the night.
Callan,
Callan did say that this penumbral beast has been evading often. Is that why you've come all this way to the Moondusk court?
if you keep asking the wrong questions, you're only going to reveal your secret further. As it is, you haven't been doing a decent job at hiding your mortal aura from me.
I have a mortal aura? Do I smell? What more do you know about me?
Not quite enough to satisfy my curiosity yet. And from what I'm gazing upon right now, I've caught quite the lovely enigma in my gasp. Gasp? Does it say gasp or grasp?
It did say gasp. Okay, I read it right.
Sometimes my brain misses words, so I thought I read it wrong.
Caught? Aren't you an enigma yourself?
I might be now, but I don't intend on keeping it that way for very long between us. Although, you ought to thank me right about now. Had you stayed any longer dangling at the prince's side, you would have given yourself away. To begin with, what kind of fairy would not know their own rights? And most importantly, do you really believe that a beauty like you could show up and claim to be from another court so easily?
Was he listening to my conversation with Callan earlier?
Perhaps it might take the prince some more time, but that would be neither surprising nor new for him.
Beep boop, what's wrong, Phantoms?
Yeah. Maria, on the other hand, that one I'd better watch out for. She knows too much even when she says she doesn't know anything. And now here you are, my beautiful enigma.
Yeah, Grass Wonder did die.
I Uma-pyoid her today in honor. I think she died yesterday. Or was it today? I don't know. She died recently, within the past 48 hours. Yeah. I Uma-pyoid her in memorial.
And then I pulled the new Teo, which Phantom desperately wants to kill me for. How do I, on my free-to-play account, where I just do random pulls every so often, have both of the new alt outfits that were released. See, but I don't want the horse girl luck. If I have horse girl luck, that's fine. What I want instead is fox husband luck. And I don't got any of that. I've pulled 70 times for fox husband. And I haven't gotten him. And I don't think I will. I think I will be fox husbandless for this event.
And now here you are, my beautiful enigma.
And look at you, a scoundrel.
Am I only a scoundrel because I've caught you? Because I've caught onto your act? Yeah. I would think that'd make me someone for you to be keeping an eye on. And gladly, I wouldn't flinch if you wanted to take your time unraveling me. Sir? Thread by thread, button by button. I'll give you as much time as you need. What?
What kind of knight of the court are you, really? Are you really?
The kind who's only bound to himself.
Wow, and your dick apparently. Not that I'm complaining, because you're hot, but
It's for good reason, mind you. If you haven't noticed yet, even the nobility here pretend to be oblivious to their own wealth and privilege. Just imagine the other things they might be so careless about. And yet they're so quick to lay blame on mortals. Isn't that strange at all to you, my beauty? Let me tell you something that you ought to have known before setting foot in here tonight. If there are any mortals left in these lands, they certainly wouldn't have found their way into this palace. Not even as servants. Every sound around this castle makes you flinch right now, doesn't it? You can hear the crackling outside as they fend off the penumbral beast. But mark my words, that monster will keep coming back for as long as it needs to claim its retribution.
What does the monster really want from this place?
If you obey me this time, then I might tell you more before the next... Nope, incorrect. If you obey me this time, then I might just tell you more the next time we meet.
why not this time? It seems dangerous to wait.
What's more dangerous is you staying here any longer before the masquerade resumes again.
Is there a pity timer? Yes to both. For Fox Husband, you have to pull 300 times to hit hard pity. And I've not been playing recently. Because I just, got a lot going on. the new Connie pity system is kind of cray cray. At least I believe that's the. Hold on, sorry, devs. I gotta check this because if I say that and I'm wrong, I'm gonna be really embarrassed. Also, do you know how hard it is to play a rhythm game? When the when everything's desynced. Everything is entirely desynced. Even my button presses, well, my presses are desynced. Yeah, that's right. Dante's birthday was recently. Oh, and then I gotta open that. Yes, collect it. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay, so you can play, if you have iOS, you play through Safari, which, yeah. Yeah, okay, so there's two pity systems. There's the pity, there's the there's the general pity system, and then there's the, banner specific pity system. Of the general pity system, I need to roll 80 more times to get a guaranteed SSR, but it doesn't. That is no matter which banner I pull on. For the, yeah, I need to pull 300 times to guarantee, and that's and that is I do get to pick 300 times for a pick of the banner. And I have pulled 70 times. And you may ask, Prince, are you okay? No. No. I'm missing multiple fox husbands. Yeah, it is a cruel world for non-whales. And, like, would I consider spending money? I've spent money on New Connie before. Like, I've spent money on New Carnival before to get Kuya. But with the Japan trip coming up and how much money I've spent on Kiki so far, I don't want it right now. So, I must suffer. Yeah, it's more dangerous. At this time, no mask will be able to protect you, nor your secrets. If you truly want to know more, let alone see tomorrow, then leave now. Trust me on this, even if it's for this one time. I wish I had more time to think, but I do hear something bursting outside, followed by a fluttering chorus of wings. Soon I'll hear footsteps once they make their way back into the castle, and then...
Oh, well, there's still moonlight.
My only chance of surviving is by escaping this starry menagerie. For fate would have it, my short time as a Celestite has finally come to an end. I can't remember the last time I've run this fast without stopping. Perhaps it was once through the wild flowers of Vestim, and not at all while wearing a ball gown that's slowly fading into stardust. By the time I reach the Manor's Garden, my heart hasn't stopped pounding nor fluttering. Hey, Flower, you couldn't even get me a carriage back? All I can do is rest among the moonstone blossoms as my mask finally fades away. Now I feel even more like I don't belong here. But how could I ever find my way back into that palace? Back to a place where the magician welcomes me into her mystic circle, or where the roguish knight would rather tease me than to slay the beast. Or back to a place where the prince is resisting his deepest desires to fall in love. After knowing such a place exists, how is one supposed to return to this life? Is that not the world those tales have spoken of before the war divided my kind and theirs? Yeah, we really... I've known them for 10 minutes, and I know so much about them. Taking in the night wind, I hear a soft rustling nearby. I look down to the Lunarian rose below and see another crystal envelope. Another letter? Opening it, my heart starts to flutter all over again. Your beauty may be something to behold, but it is your courage which has enchanted my heart tonight. In your celestial wake, you've left a lingering mystery upon my very soul. While you left before I could have seen under your mask, I desire another chance to lay claim to your precious spirit. Wow. Okay. For in 3 masquerades' time, the king will announce his heirs soon to wed. And if you truly believe in destiny, then you must make your glorious return to set this magic in motion.
Only then will you part through the veils of this court and all its love and lies. And more importantly, you'll discover who seeks to capture your heart with words of passion in both ink and whispers.
Oh.
So tell me, my starlit wonder, will you meet me again at the next Moonlight Masquerade? The next day.
Yo. Oh, the moon is full. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't. No, never mind.
Heading home from the village, I can't help but notice the castle grounds and think back to that magical night. It was a night full of wonder, mystery, and endless possibilities.
No, I do believe this is technically the full game. Because they gave me a key for full game. I just can't, I do have one embargo, and that's that I can't go into the actual, like, love routes. Which is okay, because unless we're getting to a love route in the next hour, I don't think we'll be getting there just yet. Yeah, we're still in common route, and I assume we will be too. You know what I just realized? Sorry, the ad starts in 7 seconds, which is why a few seconds. Here, I'll keep this open. We'll listen to it as we chit chat with the ad. With Love or Pretend, we're almost done, and I have another Nochi Studios game that we could play, and it is idol based. We have so many otomes to play, though. We have so many otomes to play. It is because I have also the iOS version. It's called Stellafire. Yeah, one day Jacques Jean. We have Nord 9 if we go chronologically from, like, purchase. I gotta double check. I think the one of the games that I, like, freaking backed on Kickstarter when I was in college is finished. It finally got finished. There we go. There's the ad. Thank you. But yeah. Yeah, it's easier to count the otomes. Yeah. What is it called? It was recent. Where did it go? Oh, you know what? It's probably under... Oh, look at the wrong email. Yeah, no, dreams don't always come true, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, I need to do this real fast. There we go. That's what I messed up. Yeah, it does depend on the dream, but usually. Ugh. Oh no! Gasp! Did you eat your pillow? I hope you didn't. All right. Yeah, did you ever find your pillows, Phantom? Sorry, I was just looking at the actual Steam reviews for the Kickstarter game that I was just talking about, which is not by this studio, by a completely different studio. Again, I backed this literally back in like 17, 18, maybe. It's it is currently mixed, very mixed reviews. I think 3, 4, 5 or so of 8 currently are positive, and a lot of them are negative. That's not great. You're missing one. Well, I mean, at least you got 2. But all right, back to game. I am very much enjoying this. I am interested to see more about the it is definitely Cinderella. It is a little bit of a different take on Cinderella with fairies and humans, and I am interested. I'm interested. I mean, we don't, at least currently, yeah, we at least currently do not have a glass slipper. So, interesting. It was a night full of wonder, mystery, and endless possibilities. I knew... Oh, my goodness. Blessings. I know I should keep walking, but I find myself stopping to enjoy the sight. Before taking another step, a familiar crimson beauty catches my eye from a distance. Wait, I recognize those flowers. Those aren't native to Celeroon. I didn't think they'd be here, considering how most fairies find them ordinary. Unlike the other flowers around, I remember seeing these ones while growing up in Vestim, at least from what I can remember of those painted fields. But this kind, they used to grow wildly in the bushes outside of my family's cottage. Pick up again?
No. Okay.
Mother used to bring a bouquet of them inside so that our home would always smell fresh and sweet on those dewy mornings. If I'd known that such flowers were also growing in Celeroon, I would have tried asking his lordship and lady to let me keep some in my room. Then again, why would this royal family be keeping them in the first place? Just because they don't glow in the moonlight doesn't make them... Who's MC? And it looks extraordinary. After all, a rose still a rose no matter from which land they're from, isn't that right? Huh? If only I could let this one grace my bedside table right beside my books. MC? Was that supposed to be us? I don't know. I don't know. A random person just passed by and we didn't even flinch. I'd like to get a closer look at the petals in full bloom. But even if someone notices me, how would they know if I'm not supposed to be here? I think that's pretty obvious. We're immortal. Most of them don't know that I was among them that fateful night. They wouldn't understand that what this rose could mean for someone like me. Yeah. Especially since they've made it clear that I don't belong here. I reached down, searching for the most beautiful rose. Which is interesting, because the MC is named. Is pre-named. Do I take this one or this one? Or should I take this one with the... Just as I'm about to acclaim the most velvety rose, a deep voice rolls from behind me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! You'll be taking none of them. I clutch my basket. In a swift move, Prince Khaled catches me by the hand and raises it high between us.
Please, your highness, wait!
Wait for what? For you to steal? It's mine.
At least let me explain. Ah!
No, you listen to me.
As Callum yanks me towards him, I land on his chest with a thud. I think that's a really bad option. Number 1 is a really bad option. You know what? Thank goodness you're at least warm.
Oh, thank goodness you're at least warm.
Warm?
At once, Callum pushes me back by the shoulders. Why would you think I'd be willing to offer such a thing to a thief like you? Yeah. Our character kind of doesn't think much, does she? She just kind of says stuff. Thief like you. Also, why are we back here? I thought we went back to our house. Why are we here again? Why did we come back? Why are we after the roses?
Someone trying to be so cold, I just simply wasn't expecting her touch to be so warm.
Once my words dawn on him, Khaled completely releases me from his grasp. You know what? I too would release the people who are being weird. Yeah.
As much trouble as I may be in right now, those seconds I just spent in his arms might be worth the punishment. Is it really?
You seriously think this is all a game? This is far from a social call, you know.
I do know, but
Wait, come here. Before I can ask, Callan gruffly pulls me out of the shadows until the moonlight casts upon my face. Err.
yes?
For a moment, the light almost reaches his eyes before they flash back to their familiar coldness. You're not who I thought you were. I suppose you can't be anyone else but a thief anyway. A thief out to steal my roses. And my embrace, apparently.
I'm stealing a hug?
May as well
Include wanting to steal glances from you as well.
We are just stupid! Why are we doing this? No time for silly games. None of this changes my mind about you.
Why would it? Huh? If I were who you thought I was, would you be saying the same thing?
I can assure you that the person I thought you were would have known better than to cross into my territory. Where do you serve, anyway? I know you just came from the village markets.
I was on my way back to the Oberstery house, Your Highness.
It must be a new one, then. I remember seeing you there the last time I paid a visit to Lord Othorn. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been ordered to. Yeah. yeah, exactly. If there was a contest of the most clueless otome, why would it be Mafia? You know? That's a good point. This MC is gonna give her a run for her money, though. It's gonna give Mafia MC a run for her money. Considering I've served his family for a while now, I was likely there, perhaps tending to the rooms upstairs. Unless you were privately invited last time by one of his daughters? Absolutely not. I don't call upon just anybody.
Well,
if you must know, I'm still trying to understand how even a servant like you could have such a lapse in judgment.
well,
Surely, however, there's an obvious reason why.
you can just come out and say it then. It's not like you'd be the first one of these lands to say it to my face, although you might be the first of your royal family to do so.
We have a death wish! Fine. Nobody expects mortals here to be anything but heartless or mindless.
You know what? Mindless might actually fit us.
Yeah. Oof. My recent Grass Wonder run today, she failed with like a 4% chance, got Night Owl, or got Practice Poor. I went, cured Practice Poor. Next one, 4% chance of losing, again, failed, got Practice Poor. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, perhaps we're only done from a fairy curse. Maybe love will free our brain cells. Instead of knowing your place and keep your hands to yourself, you mortals think you have to claim what you want whenever you want. If it hadn't been such false ambitions, the Chroma Wars wouldn't have even put a strain on our lands in the first place. I can only assume that you're simply one of the many captives that we chose to spare. And this is how you repay us?
I've been repaying you all day, every night with my life.
Clearly, I'm paying enough.
Then perhaps I'm simply guilty of the same passion you seem to share for your roses, Your Highness. Wait, would you really consider such feelings a crime? Feelings? No, but we did try to take a rose randomly. Before he could answer, we both hear the sound of footsteps marching in the distance. The guards have probably caught wind of my trespassing.
Yeah.
It's either that or the prince's parents can't stand losing sight of him for a minute.
They're likely off checking the southern courtyard first. Then they'll start coming this way. Do you think you're fast enough to escape them?
Unless you let me go, then I have no choice but to find out.
So, will there ever be a scenario where you'll accept the consequences?
Considering your temper, I believe I've received my punishment already. That said, I would do this all over again for a chance at a rose that reminds me of my homeland.
As I prepare to turn around and plan my escape, Callan doesn't waste time yanking me towards him again. Let me go!
Where do you think you're going? We aren't finished here.
Huh? What is it gonna take to keep you away from what's mine? I do not understand our main character's, I was understanding our main character, and now my understanding has gone down to 0. What are we doing? Why are we like this? Did I accidentally choose the dumb MC options? I don't think I can stay away from your roses. With all due respect, Your Highness, I don't think I can stay away from your roses.
You dare to be this brazen.
If you're gonna punish me anyway, then I might as well be. I shouldn't be hiding my fondness for your
your roses any longer, Your Highness.
My roses will never be yours.
Why do I think we're having a completely different conversation? His icy voice rings between us as he's unable to hide the unmistakable pain in his gaze.
I'm finally seeing some remorse from him, but it's because he's lamenting my fate or his.
Yeah.
If you're wondering if I'll find any joy in punishing you, then you should know that I only find your actions disappointing. While I can't fault you for appreciating my roses, my heart lacks sympathy for those who cannot respect my boundaries.
Don't touch your roses? Hi, Holly.
If my father chooses to take your case in his hands, you must know that I lack the power to stop him.
Huh?
That won't likely change for a while either.
Until you find your match and take the throne, that is. Yeah, you'll never have my roses!
With the footsteps growing louder, Callan stops in his tracks. Get behind me now.
You've changed. Oh, you changed your tune. But your highness, didn't you just say?
Get behind me now.
The guards are sprinting this way, desperate to find their intruder. Just before they emerge from the mist, Callan presses me to his back with a hand tight on mine.
There you are, your highness. Have you spotted them yet? Saying who? The gate was broken into just now.
What? We broke in? Top 10 brainless MCs! Why did we do that? Why did we do that?
Is there a chance that it's just some town scoundrel or careless peasant like last time? As it is, they're out playing games and tossing sticks into my rose garden.
Peasant or not, we should still be keeping an eye, Your Highness. We don't want the villagers thinking that these grounds are public, much less for any mortals to be getting any ideas. Huh?
Oh, I wonder if it's too late for that.
Why did we went negative brain cell territory?
What was that, your highness? Nothing. Nothing that would aid your efforts, I suppose.
He says it's nothing, but his touch is saying plenty. Not just on me, but on the roses. I'm sorry, he's holding me and a rose. Just gripping the rose. Sir. Holding me in place, Callan turns his body just enough for the guards to cast a glance at the unassuming bushes. I think you'll find there's no one here but me. If there were, you best know I would have taken care of them myself. Yes, he keeps tightly firmly grasp it. That is, unless you and your men dare to question my capabilities.
Not at all, your highness.
We just can't take too many precautions at these times, as you're well aware.
Well, if anyone's still here, I'm sure they'll be trying to hide out near the southern grounds. Go make sure that they stay away from my mother's lunaria roses in the chapel, will you?
Of course, your highness. You heard him, bend to the chapel. Both Callan and I wait silently for the guards to storm off in a line. Even when they're all but a speck near the queen's glade, Callan remains on his guard.
I just keep him at bay.
As he finally lets go, he plucks the rose closest to me and hovers it between us. And now you're going to give me one. What changed your...
Give me a reason not to regret my act of mercy.
I think you mean your act of generosity, your highness. Does this man have a mustache? No. Why do you ask? I feel like I see it on him. No, he does not have a mustache.
If you find this to be generous, then you still have more to learn about me.
As I reach for his hand, the rose becomes our sole witness to this forbidden exchange. I'm sorry. I thought you didn't like me touching the roses. Why did you decide to give one to me? For a moment, I wait for Callan to pull it away. Yet he instead lets the rose fall onto my apron. I finally have my rose.
But it isn't yours. Huh? No matter what you do, this rose can never be truly yours, because it will always be mine.
I don't think you understand ownership, sir. I don't think you understand ownership, sir. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. Here, for you, but it's mine. Huh? No, his sleeves are very large. I think he's flirting. I would examine this man under a microscope. What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah. He did fail flirting 101.
Just like every other rose in this garden.
Okay, a letter arrives for me. Yeah, give me plain text. While the mortals may say that our fortunes must have smiled upon us that very night, those blessed by the moon know which celestial forces are truly at work to bring you here to me. I can only imagine how long you've been gazing upon this world as if these crystal doors would never open for you. But fear not, for I will not only be the one to open them, but I will be there at the gate to offer you my hand. Why spend time describing the majesties I can show you once I take you on this flight, where we could discover them together one quill at a time? Who sent me the letter? Do I get to know who the letter's from? Huh? I don't think I understand the options. Wait, should I accompany my sisters to the castle? Should I tear this letter before someone finds it? Pardon? You know, let's offer... Why would we accompany our sisters to the castle? They won't let us. You know what? We're gonna tear it up. We're gonna tear it up. Because I doubt they won't let us. They hate us. Why would they let us? We're gonna drop a save right there. But I am confused. With the next Masquerade ball quickly approaching, I've been tasked to help my foster sisters prepare for it. As per usual, they insist they know exactly which mask and outfit they're going to wear for the next ball, only to completely change their minds at the last second. Now here I am trying to pick up a rush order of masks to match their new swan-inspired ensembles. This is all thanks to that salacious new novel that's been taking over the tea time chatter across town. Salacious swan novel. Now everybody seems to fancy themselves as shape-shifting swan maidens who could turn even the most savage of hunters into devoted protectors of the forest. The Swan Princess? I'm sure that'll be the theme for everyone's outfits for the next ball. Crossing the markets, I make my way to the string of shops that every aspiring swan has been visiting lately. I will say we are hilariously, savage at times. Yeah. There's a shop here. There's a shop here with everything. Oh, for everything. One for flowers, ribbons, the tailors, and for millinery, and a feather shop that is suspiciously quite popular at the moment. Yeah. And finally, there's the mask shop right around the corner. Arriving at the shop, I notice their delivery carriages are all gone. Oh, they must be all out on deliveries. The shop is so strict about when customers can pick up their masks, so we each have to make an appointment. That way your mask stays a surprise up until the ball. That's also why most of them ask for theirs to be delivered, but that's only if you order them ahead of time. Otherwise, you'll have to send your maid to fetch it for you. With my pickup time just minutes away, I get ready for the shopkeeper to welcome me inside. He should be letting me in any moment now, right? When I expect him to open the doors, a man in a midnight cloak swoops past me and storms inside first. What? But wasn't this supposed to be my pickup time? Shocked, I try to catch the door just before it closes. Who's that stranger? Did I mix up the schedule? But that's not possible. I triple-checked it myself earlier. Does this man simply not know the shop's rules? Why? He's not gonna... I'm gonna sneak up. Without leaving my spot, I try to get a better look at him. He has his hood on, so his face is completely shrouded. Oh no, what if it's some kind of thief? Thieves wouldn't care about a customer's privacy or making appointments, would they? Then again, wouldn't he have tried to steal something by now? If anything, he seems more like an impatient child who can't wait to have his sweets until after supper. He's gonna steal their swan masks. There used to be a neighbor boy back in my village who would make a whole lot of commotion just for a single candy dewdrop. Once he had it, however, he turned into a jovial little thing frolicking in the rose fields. Now, if only this cloaked thief would turn into a jovial little thing too. Despite everything, this sudden wave of nostalgia compels me to quietly step inside. If anything, perhaps this stranger might also calm down once he's had a candy dewdrop. This background seems extremely familiar. Perhaps he's never had the pleasure of trying one. Welcome to Tangent Land with main character. With that thought, I reach for his cloak only for him to turn around at the last second. At once, he captures my hand as his hood falls to reveal his raven hair. Oh no, I should have known. Your Highness, is this some kind of game? Yeah. If it is, then I want out of it. With all due respect, I'm not the one hiding around town pretending to be some wraith. This also happens to be my appointment for my masks. Your masks? Now I know you're lying. I never said these masks were for myself, Your Highness. I know very well where I stand when it comes to your royal events. For your knowledge, they aren't my events. Oh, for your knowledge, they aren't my events. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be hosting any rubbish of the sort, or even be down here trying to collect my own damn mask. Forgive me, but why do you have to pick it up yourself? Surely you have maids and couriers, or even the shopkeeper himself could hand-deliver it to you at the palace? As a matter of fact, he does typically insist on delivering it himself. So why not this time? I just simply told him no this time. I don't expect you to understand when I say that there's nothing more unbearable than having an entire palace turn a simple delivery into an entire procession. As soon as the shopkeeper arrives with a package, then it's to the mass royal supper, and then comes the entertainment. And then when my sanity has had about enough, it's finally time for my mother to insist that I ought to try on the mask with my whole outfit. So you're just like a weird, broody teenager. All so that I can be the one paraded through those halls. Even when I can finally escape, I know they'll be throwing yet a bigger parade for when I don my mask all over again.
At the Masquerade Ball, you mean?
I hate it with a passion. It's Wow, all right, sir. It's infuriating knowing that even if I could tear these masks off by the end of the night, I'll still be left wearing the one I truly disdain.
I feel like you're telling me a lot. Perhaps he doesn't think I understand the feeling, but I know resentment when I see it. It's the trap feeling that comes with the questioning every sense of who you really are.
Sensing his frustration, I try to give him some space by exploring around the shop. I can feel his gaze burning over me, tracing my every move like a hunter.
Perhaps I lack your exact perspective, Your Highness, but I do know how painful it can be to live in a world that constantly lambastes your existence, where even the buildings, events, and how you go about your day is hardly dictated by what's inside your heart. And it's all because someone's already made up your mind about your destiny.
Do you still have it?
Have what?
The rose, Your Highness?
I knew it. The rose I let you keep.
As promised, it's in a vase on my bedside table.
Yeah.
It is yet to wilt, so I consider myself very lucky.
His next sigh sounds a tinge warmer than before. I turn to him, hoping to catch a glimpse of a smile, yet I look right past him into a sculpted mask hanging on the wall of a gnarled demon. The wall of a gnarled demon? Callan? What's that?
It's
horrible. And so hideous.
Oh, what are you?
Once Callan turns around, he too takes a step back.
Oh, I've never seen him make one like that before.
It's gotta be for some lurid costume party, no doubt. It may even be Callister's or Lear's.
Wait a minute, you're trembling.
Does it really frighten you that much? It's a mask. These are some very interesting answers. Please make the mask go away. I feel sad. You know what? I feel sad.
It's not terror I feel towards it, it's sorrow.
Why? Despite trying to fight back his curiosity, he comes up beside me, his cloak brushing against my uniform. Even Cal's like, are you okay? Do you have brain damage? Yeah. Callan fails to notice this as his piercing gaze tries to make sense of my anguish.
Do you really not know what that thing represents?
Even if I did, I don't know if I could let go of this feeling.
What would that be?
I don't quite know how to explain it, Your Highness. All I know is that if such a creature existed, I can sense that it must have held back a lot of sorrow during its lifetime. It's so ugly. It must be really sad. That is what we're seeing in his expression, isn't it? It's inner darkness consuming it.
More like it's being exorcised from such darkness.
Perhaps that's why I don't consider it such a blasphemous sight.
Wow. You know what? Sure. Idiot to idiot communication.
If anything, it's the portrait of a lucky soul.
Despite his words, I can't seem to stop trembling.
From sorrow? Tell me, what would it take to tear your gaze away from it?
How about you look at another mask?
Pulling his cloak aside, Callan strides over to a golden half mask of a smiling sun jester. He gives it a leer before trying to hide his face behind it.
How about one like this?
Am I seeing things, or is this prince really trying to get a laugh out of me?
Well, finally, it seems that you really are capable of smiling, Your Highness.
Well, I'm certainly not behind this mask.
Are you sure? Because it's quite clear from where I'm standing.
If you're in a mood for teasing, you're certainly not that petrified.
Again, I just said it wasn't fear, but sorrow.
Apparently not any more thanks to your efforts, and your kindness once more. I still don't particularly like gazing upon that mask, but it's becoming easier, thanks to Callan. To be standing so close to him, however, only brings my memories of that masquerade night to the surface.
I'm going to completely forget about the rose incident and only think about the masquerade.
I wonder if he thinks about that night, too.
As Callan slips his hood back on, he makes it a point to brush past me without much of a reaction.
Or perhaps he's already forgotten about that night.
Just then, the shopkeeper finally returns with a bewildered look for each of us. Did I really forget to lock the door? My apologies, the couriers had a bit of a mix-up today. Now that that's settled, do you mind stepping out while I take care of his order?
Forget it, sir, just have mine delivered. Besides, she was here first.
Bye! The door slams shut behind him, even as the shopkeeper moves on to my order. I can't help but wonder which mask Callan will choose for when we meet again. After arriving home, a letter arrives for me. It does? Text. My bright-eyed one, have you ever desired something you've been forbidden to possess? Something so tantalizing you can't help but imagine what it'd be like the moment you could lay your fingers on it. I'm sure this is what dreams and tales found in palaces are for, but would that truly satisfy creatures like us? Why not close your eyes and imagine those nightly whispers and my touch against your silk? What if what we both are longing for is meant to stay forbidden, but it could be the very thing to unlock our
Deepest pleasures. Answer me this, my bright-eyed one. What am I to do when the forbidden treasure I seek is you? Who is that?
Is this silkworm smut?
Maybe.
You know what? I'm gonna forget your words and carry on.
I don't know.
Whenever there's social tea held at Australios, there's bound to be much gossip. On a given day, the attendees will receive their private invitations to share tea with the prince and, most importantly, their competition. As luck would have it, both my foster sisters have been invited to this round of tea time. Yet to my own misfortune, Lady Rodora insisted that they bring me along to help the staff, as she usually puts it. She thinks that by offering my assistance out of the palace, that she's giving my sisters a leg up on the competition. Although, surely the palace finds this to be less of a humble gesture than one of pity. With most of the guests settling in, I help the maids with pouring the mealir tea. Yeah. While Anemone and Briar catch the sun's rays on their pearl and satin ensembles, heiress Lady Lysanthus presents herself in a petaled aquamarine gown. As usual, she's like a marine blossom in bloom. I remember seeing her in passing at the ball with a line of noblemen desperate for a dance with her. The next tea I have to pour is for Sir Callister, who has quite the reputation in town. Is Sir Callister in the running for marrying Prince Callan? Even the maids back in the Oberstarry house have uttered his name under their breaths, either in passion or disdain. And I do my best to avoid him as I move on to Lady Aurella, who can't help but bring up the burning topic that's on everyone's minds. So, who do you think she is? Huh? I suppose that means we only go 2 minutes before bringing her up. Is that right? Well, why not? That mystery beauty appeared completely out of nowhere, practically out of thin air. Then, some 5 minutes later, she was supposedly out with Prince Callan before the beast attacked. Isn't that considered a record? Huh? Just because it's a record doesn't mean anything. Huh? If it had, then why wouldn't there be another Masquerade again? Well, how else is Prince Callan supposed to survive without the spotlight on him? Callister, mind your manners. Besides, he'll be here soon. Speaking of which, the prince did seem different after she disappeared, didn't he? Any chance that she might have been someone he knew already? I did hear from Lady Larissa that some of the other suitors think that Prince Callan once had a fling with one of the heirs of the Sunbloom court.
What?
A fling? How? He's so guarded. Not as guarded as one might think. When a prince sees what he wants, then, well, what? I've never seen so many nobles quickly compose themselves at once. As Callan takes his seat, they all greet him with the same guilty, glittering smile. Your Highness, it's always an honor to join you for tea. I see that you've all got a secret to bury. Actually, Your Highness, we were just talking about the mystery guest. Shh, Briar. I hardly doubt the prince wants to engage in such talk about who he spent his time with at the last ball, though he practically almost took the entire time with her. Oh my god.
There's nothing to talk about.
Who was she then, or do you still not know?
Isn't there something else we could be talking about? Like perhaps if anyone has recently read Ravendrow's new book of sonnets. So is she not an heir from Sunbloom? Can we move on? Don't you understand, you devil? The more you try to escape it, you're only going to be adding more kindling to the fire. Some of the recent speculations have been downright intriguing, to be honest, perhaps even a little thrilling. At this point, I'm half convinced that she might as well have been some illegitimate princess who's been forced into hiding and somehow managed to escape for a night. Huh? I almost dropped my teapot. I managed to catch it before it crashes into the sugar bowl, but I've already done enough to rouse their attention. So much for trying to be invisible, I suppose.
The talk of changelings always frightens me. Or my apologies for my clumsiness. You know what? Talk of changelings. No, apologies. My apologies for my clumsiness. I really don't know what came over me just now. Well then, whatever it is needs to be inoculated out of your system. Inoculated? You really don't want to be telling Mummy that you're being all thumbs while serving tea, do you? I could say so much more, but I've already given Callan yet another impression of me to mull through. Come to think of it, he won't stop staring. You'll have to excuse our Major Highness. Usually we're accompanied by one of our more seasoned maids, but they're all busy making arrangements for the next ball.
We really are a mess. The Rose Thief, the Mask Shop.
Just call me a thief. What was that about the Mask Shop, Your Highness? Did you say something?
I thought you mentioned the Mask Shop. Is that where your other maids are at this moment?
Are you alright, Your Highness? Did the maid startle you? Did the maid startle you?
Of course not. Honestly, I thought she was merely agreeing with my disdain for this conversation. If she'd smashed the teapot, I would have shared in her sentiments. You hate my theory that much, Your Highness? That your mystery guest could be a princess? I don't detest the theory, I only detest that you came up with it. The tension in this room is palpable.
Something tells me that even if I hadn't made such a commotion, they still would have been short of staring daggers into each other. Even as I head back in line with the other maids, Callan's gaze keeps drifting in my direction. If we so much as made actual eye contact, I doubt neither Anemone nor Briar would be keeping silent about this to Lady Redora. And if that happens, not being able to attend the masquerade again will be the least of my worries. Maid, I need more tea. I turn around, half expecting for him to show me a full cup. To my surprise, it's completely empty. How, I just poured him some. Aurelia tea is supposed to be sipped through, not downed in one gulp. Unless you're Callister, I suppose. Holding back my tongue, I bring the teapot over. The entire table goes quiet for a moment just to watch me start pouring. Callan's jaw tightens at once and holds nothing back with his glare. Now I'm not so sure what he's upset about. How could he possibly be angry that I didn't tell him that I'd be here? Oh, he can't possibly be angry that I didn't tell him that I'd be here, would he? That'd be absurd. How could I tell him? Almost as absurd as how quickly Callister came down his... With the corner of my eye, I spot Callister admiring my view before him, apron and all. Wait, Callan isn't furious with me, he's furious with Callister. For how long has Callister been trying to catch a look? Without thinking, my gaze softens in Callan's direction. If only I could say something more right now. He knows that there's the only chance I get before the ball. We're gonna fucking spill the tea! Even if he wants to meet Mr. Gisk. Okay, we didn't spill. Finishing with Callister's tea, Callan summons me to refill his next. Now it's Callister's turn to shoot glares at him, but where did the rivalry even come from? Huh, you know, about that penumbral beast. Yeah. It's quite the situation, isn't it? It's downright frightening, if you ask me. Who would have thought that we'd be calling for reinforcements like we're on the brink of war all over again? Yeah, spilled a tea. At least Sir Lear's appearance softens the situation, if not inspires the imagination. Oh, everyone says he's come highly recommended, but didn't he arrive late to help fend off the beast? According to Lady Primella, he was only late because he was assisting some of the guests back inside the castle when the beast attacked. Isn't that right, Your Highness? Not even close. Amazing. No, but don't be jealous, Your Highness. Why is Callister the only dude here? Why did he get invited? I'm sure someone here still thinks you're the real hero in this realm. Those two have really been at it all afternoon, haven't they? Only this time I can tell Callister struck a nerve. Well, while you think that Lear is a real hero, I sure don't. I can tell a slacker when I see one. He's one good-looking slacker. Of course he's nowhere near as good-looking as you, Your Highness. Honestly, I'm sure his intentions seem to be in the right place, but I do hope he'll come to your aid more quickly, Your Highness. Yeah, well, however, Callister was just checking us out, so he might just be the one weird, like, wingman straight guy, except he hates Callan, so, what is your point? Why were you invited, Mr. Sir? Well, I don't. Gay or European, yeah. Despite what some of you have led to believe, I don't need Lear's aid to handle this. But what if you do need his help, Your Highness? Would it really be so hard to admit? Come on, Your Highness, Callan. Why not be honest with us for once in your life? At last, I slammed the teapot down on the table.
Can't you see that he hates this subject?
Neither of these are good answers! Yeah, they're all fairies. I'm gonna drop a save, because these are crazy. Can't you see he hates the subject?
Stop, can't you see he hates the subject?
Nothing worse than rueful silence. Not even the other maids dare to intervene while everyone else proceeds to stir their teas instead. Not even Callan says a word as he rubs at his temples and waiting for the next explosion to happen. Finally, a call comes once, Anemone rises from her seat. How dare you think you have any right to speak for a prince, let alone any of us? How many times have we told you this is not your conversation to partake in? Now apologize. His eye just right this instant. That's enough. There'll be no apology. All I ask is that we drop this conversation once, unless you prefer that I inform His Majesty and the Queen that there'll be no next masquerade. No masquerade? Your Highness, will you at least accept an apology on my behalf for my maid's behavior? We'll be sure to report to our mother about our sisters. Your sister? Is she your maid or your sister? Well, I think what Briar meant was that our mother has always taught us to treat our fellow maids like family. Our fellow maids? It's a way to make them feel welcome, you see? Either way, I already said no apologies. If you go against my word, I will make it a point to blacklist any one of you. I'm so confused! As for your maid, you might think you're helping while you want to find my bells for me. I saw you just says, next time you consider my words for reckless and passionately for my sake. Before anyone can say another word, I grab my teapot and head straight for the door. How many times have I fooled myself into thinking that I keep living like this? I'm sure that Lady Redora will have plenty to say when we get home, and yet it still won't compare to how I'm feeling at this moment. Which is... As I start walking once more, Callan comes storming out of the ballroom alone. He doesn't even wait for the doors to shut behind him as he heaves a sigh only to spot me by the kitchen door. Huh? Where are you going now?
To make myself useful elsewhere.
And where
might you be going, Your Highness?
I'm hoping to do the exact same thing as you.
You know, there's
someone I could ask about whether there's an open post here, that is.
To work here in the palace?
Will that not be better than your current arrangement? I only suggest it since, well, I suppose the ideal would be if you wouldn't have to stay a maid at all.
Why? Why is that ideal? I mean, yes, it's ideal. I don't want to be a maid, but why is it ideal for you?
But I'm afraid that'd be a whole nother case to bring up to the throne. For now, it's best you stay patient until I find a way to change your fate. Huh? With a single nod, Cal is off in the other direction. What? Meanwhile, I'm left to ponder whether his offer is one I'll ever hear from him again. After arriving home, another letter arrives from me. You. Wait. Time to playtech. You keep entering my mind. I don't understand this. I try to go on about my day. You keep evading my thoughts. Supposed to be capable of doing to me. Oh, doing to me next. At times I ponder whether I should even be sharing such thoughts with you. Neither do I. But the more I see of you, the stronger my need becomes. I want to know more about you. What led you here? What do you seek? Despite your attempts to hide in the shadow, you're only inviting me to bring you out into the moonlight. Don't think I'll be letting you stay in this darkness for much longer. I have every intention to find you again. Continue? You know what? I'll lurk in the corridors until you find me. Yeah. Another letter? I wish it would come to this, but I see intention to return my sentiments. Call me a fool. Perspective answer, maybe it's the best. Perhaps you even know more than you lead on every mind about me. I can't deny this reality will forever leave me with questions, but I know I shouldn't deny your heart's right to choose another path. If only such a path could have ever led to me, but I could no longer be so selfish. Take this as my will, wishes, and my farewell. What? Wait a second, what? Oh no! Unsuccessful! I fucked up! You have not succeeded in acquainting yourselves with the proper company through the mysterious letters. Thus your journey must commence anew! Oh no! Oh no, I misunderstood! Oh no, I misunderstood! How did I misunderstand that badly? Oh my god, hold on. Wait, hold on. What if I load this? Oh, that didn't work. Oh, because it bumped me back to day 0. Okay, the next choice. Perhaps I found my own. No. I'll find my own invitation someday, perhaps. Oh. Okay, skip again. This has to be a mistake. Skip again. Are you my flower? Skip again. What make you tempt fate? No reloads, yeah. Skip again. Do you know what it feels like to follow love? Skip again. This is hilariously bonkers. You know what? Voltelli, please say you'll keep this between us. So you don't want your dearest prince and magician knowing that what I know, do you? That'd make me wonder if there's more to your little secret. That's rather exciting the more I think about it. A secret between us, one that binds us together like vines or chains. What? Does that mean you'll keep... Those were very interesting options you chose. Does this mean you'll keep this a secret? Well, that depends on a few things. How did you manage to find your way to pass through the Astrogea portal? With a velvet sigh, Lear brings his hand to his lips and peers at me in fascination. I really just channeled the aromanticism. That portal's been sealed for longer than you've likely been alive, making you even more of a fantastic enigma. Talking about mortals, there plenty left who couldn't return after the war. Where have you been hiding all this time to believe such a thing? Let me tell you something that you ought to have known before setting foot in here tonight. Met immortals. Okay. Skip. Next Moonlight Masquerade. Next day. Okay, the roses. Thank goodness you're at least warm. Where to continue? I don't think I could stay away from your roses. A letter arrives for me. Okay. You know what? Should I offer to accompany my sister to the castle? Why not? Sure. All right. Well, we'll try. When a lady of noble house has to pay a visit to the court, it's common for her to bring one of her most trusted maids along. On most days, the role usually falls into Clematis, the head maid of the Oberstarry house. But for today, it's been decided that I will accompany Lady Redora to her tea time at the palace. Yeah, literally can't go worse than last time. Last time was, how did you reject everyone? I didn't understand the assignment. I was surprised when she even suggested the idea that I would come along with her. She'd never mentioned it before, so do I dare ask why now? As soon as we arrive, Lady Redora doesn't wait to toss her coat to me. Now, do make yourself scarce. The ladies don't particularly fare well with the extra company, otherwise they'll start asking you questions. You wouldn't want that either, would you? But aren't I supposed to be within a room's reach? That's what Clematis... I want to put an N there. Clematis taught me to do. Not for today, my dear. You're to put my coat away and find someplace else to make yourself useful. Oh. Blessings. If the other maids will allow it, why not volunteer in the kitchen? All I ask is you be ready with my things when it's time to leave. Is it really appropriate for me to ask them, my lady? Before she lets me finish, Lady Redora straightens her skirts and struts to the parlor room. I can already hear the tea time chatter echoing off the walls. If she was planning on having me wait outside, then why didn't she ask Clematis instead? After putting Lady Redora's coat away, I reluctantly make my way to the kitchen. As I approach the door, I can hear the cooks scurrying to prepare for tonight's supper. I really thought that said cocks. The cocks are scurrying. I was like, we either have the weirdest infestation of all, or there's a lot of roosters. All of a sudden, the door swings open and a palace maid stops in her tracks. Oh, are you lost, my dear? I would be if this isn't the right way to the kitchen. Well, then you've come to the right place, but I know exactly where her eyes have gone. Oh, I see now. No wing, no ears, no wings, no aura. Who sent you here, my dear? Lady Redora of Oberstarry. She's having tea with the other ladies, so she suggested that I could say no more. I can fetch you a proper apron in the meantime. You wait right here. If anyone asks, tell them Opora has you now. I listen at the door as Opora heads back inside to rummage through some cabinets. It's not long before she hands me a crisp white apron with gold trimmings. You wouldn't be the first one they've sent over to us, although it's usually under other circumstances. Yeah, no ears. No ears. Look at my elf ears. No ears. Yeah. That said, doesn't Lady Redora have other maids at her disposal? At least one she could openly keep beside her during tea time? It seems peculiar that she'd let you accompany her in public unless she had no other option. Gee, thanks. Oh, or wait, have the Oberstarrys fallen into hard times? Is that it? Ah, let me get you that apron for you first, and then you can tell me all about it. I'll be sure to reward you with a little news of the prince as well. Hi? Oh, can I borrow your maid? Precisely this one. Oh? Since when do you need a maid, oh wise Grandaria Stella? I thought that's what you had an apprentice for. And the librarian. Well, I changed my mind for today, and I happen to like this one. Oh, hello? I could offer you either Saffron or Astrophel, but I don't think either of them would be up for serving tea if they're forced to hold their tongues the entire time. So, can I borrow her? Well, of course, but I can't deny that I was becoming delighted at the prospect of a new maid. Then again, she isn't mine to begin with. Yeah. Well, perhaps we could conspire to steal her away from her captors, shouldn't we? Oh, if only we could be so bold. Now then, take her before I change my mind. You're always my favorite maid, Opora. Well, come along with me, my dearest maid. With a spring in her step, Maria guides me deep into the sprawling palace halls. Yeah. Here we are. Welcome to my domain. Oh, or, well, at least one of them. I have a proper workroom in the East Wing, but the library is the best lighting in my opinion. I've been wondering when I'd finally get the chance to show this place to you. The other night didn't particularly leave us with much of a chance of anything, did it? Miss? Huh? So, you do recognize me. Well, I'm quite sure I do now. To be fair, I was pretty certain of it since that night, but I just know that it's better we keep it a secret between you and me for now. Only for now? Well, eventually it could become a secret between you, me, and the moon. Huh? Well, huh? You should also know that your abrupt departure left quite a surprising effect on Callan. I've been assuring him that he should keep his eyes peeled for your next appearance. You are planning on attending again, aren't you? I'm beginning to think this is all some kind of charade. To be honest, I'm beginning to think this is all some kind of charade. Oh, and how? I thought you wanted to meet Callan, so that's what I offered you that night. I just didn't expect for your meeting with him to end so suddenly. That's exactly it, Maria. How did you know that I wanted to meet him?
Well, while I'm normally one to consult the nimbus above for my answers, was it so far-fetched to assume that you were at the ball for the same reason as his other suitors were? Actually, I want to fuck his knight. The only difference between you and them is that you're entering completely fresh into the market. Never mind the fact that Callan's constantly being forced to dance with the same carousel of suitors until he finally cracks and picks one. And yes, he does get rather sick of them. That sounds like yet another secret I'll be having to keep from my foster sisters. We might as well start keeping a jar of secrets between the two of us. With the way things are in this court, I doubt the king and queen's taste in suitors for their son will ever improve. Hence why I thought I'd take a chance at matchmaking the two of you myself. It really did make an impression on Callan that night. Now, that's another secret that should stay between you and me.
So let me get this straight. You want to help me meet with Callan again?
I think it's important if you did, but not just because I'm saying so.
Yeah.
Will you ever tell me why, then? I'm sure there'll be a better time to explain everything, but not today. We're not exactly alone here.
Pressing a finger to her lips, Maria points over at a shadow coming this way. A solemn fairy glides in carrying a thick stack of books.
Oh, so you're finished sorting those journals already, Saffron. Is the new maid. Sadly, she's not ours to keep, but don't think I won't try to weave something to change that.
So does this mean you're replacing Astrophel with this new apprentice?
Who said I was ever going to replace them?
As a matter of fact, I have Astrophel working on those firefly deco lights that the queen's been muttering about for the theme for next ball. I thought the theme was swans. Maybe I'm wrong.
And so I thought I could still use another hand on finishing that elixir for a certain king, hence the maid.
Well, I hope she can assist well, especially since neither Astrophel nor I are particularly in the mood to be stirring cauldrons.
Neither am I. Hopefully, Prince can enlighten me while I work on that alchemical recipe. Or if she's simply here to entertain me with her charm, I'll be just as delighted.
It's strange to hear her say my name all of a sudden, and so warmly. Yeah. I wonder what else she's since learned about me, and from where. Oh no. Well then, best luck on your experiments, Grandia Stella. I'll be putting those poetry books away next.
Run along then, just so I can see what the good maid can really do.
Huh? Huh? Giggling to herself, Maria directs me over to a bubbling cauldron staffed inside a makeshift nook of leather-bound texts.
Now you'll see here that I've got a cauldron going with plenty of herbs and essences from the royal gardens. But now comes the fun part of adding in a freshly altered prism dust. One singular dust?
All right.
Prism dust? I don't believe I've ever seen such a thing before. It's a rare form of moon dust the fairies use to harvest during the solstices. Once you treat them with other flower essences, it creates a new material so strong and illustrious that it was once used by the umbral fairies to craft this very palace.
Huh. Huh. Yeah. Sorry, I had to check something.
Umbral fairies? But isn't this realm ruled by Celestite fairies?
Well, here's a little history lesson for you. As you know, there's different species of fairies across the 3 main courts of Selrune. The dominant species of the Sunbloom Court are Hellion fairies, the lovers of the sun. The Sarenvale Court is ruled mostly by Inflora, which is my species. We revolve ourselves around the stars and any flowers which respond to their celestial positions. Lastly, in the Moondusk Court, which there were once 2 competing species of lunar fairies, the Umbrals and the Celestites. Before the war, the Umbral fairies used to rule in this very palace. However, according to Celestite historians, when the mortals of Vestim infiltrated through our portal, the Umbrals were the first to be attacked. In the aftermath, they went extinct, leaving the Celestites to start a new rule upon the land. I don't know. Good point. Don't know. Since then, certain things like harvesting prism dust have become a sort of lost art. But then, how do you know how to make some? Well, as an inflora, I've been taught by my ancestors and the nimbus above on the potency of flowers, and more importantly, their transformative abilities when fused with moondust. Except I'm still working on whether I could produce enough prism dust to add into this elixir. Sir Lear insisted that if he's going anywhere near that beast again, he's going to need something stronger than the usual antidotes we produce for the Royal Guard. As I'm suspecting him to be a bit of a crybaby on the field, I'm going to try to add some extra prism dust so he runs out of excuses and fights already. Making prism dust does require proper alchemical processes, some patience, and most of all, Maria plucks a crystal vial from beside the cauldron thick with a bright silvery essence. The Tears of the Moon. It's quite a lovely little thing, isn't it? The Umbral fairies used to harvest this as well. The surviving texts say that it wasn't just used for making prism dust, but for plenty of other antidotes and oddities too. I only wish the Celestites had done more to recover the other texts for us to learn more about its mysteries. While I keep listening, I'm strangely entranced by the silver in the vial. If there's one mystery I'd like to know about right now, it's why I'm feeling so parched all of a sudden. Even as she sets the vial aside, I can't seem to tear my eyes away from it. Maria, do you really not know what else those tears were used for by the Umbrals? Hi, geeks. I can only take a guess, but we at least know that it was often used in elixirs for raising one's stamina. But then again, it can also be used for forging these pillars you see all around the palace. And do the texts not say anything about how it tastes? Oh, it's taste? As Maria stops to think, my eyes wander back to that vial. I don't understand. I've never had such a reaction like this before. Every time I look at those tears, I just feel this strange need, this sudden thirst. Then again, I suppose I didn't have much to eat before coming here. Still, shouldn't I be asking for some crystalline water or a bite of snowfrost bread instead? And yet, despite trying to be sensible about this, I want to taste.
We're going to eat things we should not be eating.
I'm going to ask. Heavens above, I'm shaking just from watching her pick up the vial again. May Maria forgive me for the ridiculous request I'm about to make. Maria, could I ask you something else? That's what I'm for, aren't I? How would you like me to satisfy that curiosity of yours? Could I try a taste of those tears?
Oh no, she stopped turning the cauldron. That has to be bad, isn't it?
Oh, you do? Does it really look that appetizing to you? I do suppose it's probably better than whatever you've been served by that ruddy family before, but don't tell them that.
Growing suspicious, Maria slowly teases the vial in front of my face.
How curious and endearing. You really want these drops, don't you? Do you even know why? If I did, then I'd tell you before I embarrass myself further.
I hunger for Moondust!
But if you did, then I wouldn't have the pleasure of seeing such an innocent reaction out of you. Just one drop. That's all I can spare, all right? One drop feels like it's all I'll need. As soon as she hands me the vial, I bring a single drop to my lips. A cool sensation spreads throughout my body, and not only quenching this raging thirst, but by bestowing a gentle tranquility within me. Even just this moment, I feel better than I've felt in years. But now, here comes the aftertaste. It's not pleasant at all, is it? Yeah, the last time I tried it myself, it sort of tasted like fumes. At least, I now know it isn't toxic if you've had some too. Well, as an inflora, I tend to be immune to most toxins. So those tears could still be poisonous to mortals? Maria, say something, please. Well, why should I? I know you'll be fine. If you're immortal, then those cravings of yours are most likely the worst reaction you'll have to endure for today. If you were anything but mortal, then I would have certain questions. But I will say that I find your curiosity quite endearing, perhaps even bold and brave. I want to believe her, but she keeps trying to sound not so surprised. I dare I call you my favorite experiment of today.
Huh? Trying not to laugh, Maris sets the vial aside to gently wipe my lips.
Ah, there we go. Now there's no more evidence of your mischief. If only I really didn't have to give you back to your captors, then I could really...
Suddenly there's a loud knock on the door. No, please, actually give me back to the captors, because you're pretty and all, but I wanted the knight.
Oh, my dear maid, Lady Redora wants to leave now. Oh, how can that be? It seems too early for anyone to be going already. Not unless Lady Myrtle Charm was also invited to today's tea. Lady Redora will actually leave if she's also attending, and all because of a missed birthday. Once again, the most baffling of creatures are hardly ever mortals, are they? I hope that's something you can remind yourself of until we meet again. Because whether you're here with me, you should never be... Whenever you're here with me, you should never be afraid of showing me who you truly are. Another letter arrives. They say the most beautiful flowers in Celerudo are the ones that grow precisely after rainfall. With the rain comes the rainbow, and when it makes contact with even the slightest bit of moon dust that falls upon the lands, it can restore our nature into its fullest glory. Have you ever seen such a phenomenon before, one that makes the midnight blossoms bloom and blush so brightly? To see such wonder, one must follow a hidden cobblestone path that's not only been blessed by the moonlight, but by your delicate rays of sunshine. If you've yet to see such wondrous things, maybe you're the first to take you there. I think this is still Maria, so we're gonna say no and try again. Huh? I've been letting the moon guide me to you, but I never sensed a change in our cosmic paths. I thought we understood each other, subject to have silence. Serene silence between us break hearts. Possibly we held a stronger connection than what the stars dictated. Sentiment, my only rest, set you free from my words, spirit. Fuck! Apparently so! God damn it! God damn it! Okay.
Okay, so... no, there's no winning. We're too stupid. Okay. I think I could stay away from roses. Okay, so we're gonna say no to this letter, but we're gonna say yes to the next one. Okay. Sneak up behind him. I feel sorrow for it. We're just trying things. My bright-eyed one. Should I find my way to the palace until I wait for you? We're gonna see who this is. I was hoping to complete more chores off my list, but as luck would have it, my foster sisters have been invited to a luncheon at Australios. Usually the only one head. Lunchtime chatter. I don't think so. Usually head maids hold their coats and bonnets while they enjoy their lunchtime chatter. Most importantly, the maids are there to make sure that no one goes... blessings. No one gets ideas about fluttering off with one of the nobles, especially one who isn't a prince. Since Clementus is out accompanying his lordship and lady on business in the next town over, the duty's fallen onto me. That is, if my sisters will even let me try to preserve their reputation as this event today. As the other guests gather for tea, I only have so much time to finish helping my foster sisters remove their bonnets. Will you just let me tear this thing off already? I don't want to be late for when Prince Callan shows up. I'm trying, but I'm not sure who tied this knot in the first place. So either you're late or you'll be meeting him looking like you've been caught in the wind yet again. Have you been counting the amount of times that's actually happened to me? Oh, hush and let me untie it for you. Honestly, the fact that you're letting Prince instill fear onto you like this serves you no favors. Gah, I almost broke a nail. Really, who tied this thing on for you? I did. But only because Mummy took clematis with her before I finished putting on my gown. Speechless, Anemone turns to me to take another stab at it, said, well, Prince, otherwise I would try ripping this whole thing off. Wait, you're not serious? Hold it. She just needs to stay still for just one more minute and... there we go. All right, already, let me go find that prince. Stay aside with the other maids, will you, Prince? Anemone and I need our space. For a moment, I thought she was going to take me with her. I still don't know if I'll even get to see Callan today. Who knows if he'd even have a chance to stop by and say anything, especially while I'm in this corner. For now, I'm to remain as still as a statue, watching this world go on while I remain behind glass until that fateful night comes again. I remain at my post as the other maids finish serving the first course of appetizers and twinkling Mealera tea, the midday nectar of the royals. One drop can enhance any fairy's charm during conversation and help them survive through the daily dose of gossip. All right. Ad break, and then we'll probably finish up with this scene and then call it for the night. This is very interesting. You know, you all watched. I did not understand the letter mechanic at the beginning. I understand now. I understand now. So yeah, I want... I think of the three characters, I am most interested in Lear. Yeah. Yeah, that I thought that I could say, after hanging out with Maria, I thought I could say no, like, oh, that's not the character I want, and get the chance to move on to the other character. I didn't expect it to immediately game over me. I didn't expect that at all. Cause yeah, I couldn't tell who was who. I thought Miria was this one, but apparently Miria was the first one. I was like, Miria's got purple hair. Who writes with purple ink? Probably Miria? But apparently I was wrong. I was wrong. But, yeah. Oh my god. Speaking of, did you guys fucking see... I thought I was reading clues. Did you see that there's a freaking Homestuck animation coming out by the same... It's apparently, yeah, no, it is, like, apparently the beginning of Homestuck. Animated by the same, by the hell of a boss, whatever other one it is,
Yeah. VisiPop. Her animation studio is doing it. How are you gonna animate Homestuck? I'm both intrigued and terrified. Very intrigued and very terrified. No. Alright. Meanwhile, other fairies tend to enjoy its bolder side effects. I instantly spot both Lear and another dashing noble toasting to each other before downing their tea. Lear! Yeah, it is kind of weird. I don't think they're gonna adapt the whole thing. All I know is that also Toby Fox is a voice actor in it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, if this is the Lear one, I'm gonna cry. Yeah, Toby Fox from Undertale is voicing one of the main characters. Yep. Yep, he voices John. Which is technically the beginning main character. How many main characters in Homestuck is a question that we could debate in circles, but together they strut aside to let out a gaggle of blushing heiresses scurry through, each passing a glance at them before remembering to hurry. Yeah, look at them. This season is proving to be quite a sight, isn't it? They visit this palace once, and they're carving out which nook is where Khaled's going to be reading to them by candlelight, amongst other things. Imagine their surprise once they discover that he doesn't let just anybody hold his reading candle. What? Is that supposed to be a euphemism? I don't know if they're like this in Sunbloom, but they always seem like a rather eager bunch in this court, and I do mean eager. So are they? In Sunbloom? Your guess is as good as mine. Without his little eye visor thing, eye lace, he is very pretty. Well, he's pretty with it too. I barely spent any time there before making my way out to the forest after the war. Ah, so ladies were too ratty for you there, is that it? You need to learn how to lie better, Lair. I can tell when a knight's broken a heart, or 2 or 10. You truly believe it's only 10. So these are who Clematis is usually fending off whenever she chaperones. How am I not surprised that they're the ones here, that they're only here to scope out who they can lure into their webs? At least I have a clear view of my sisters as they're chatting up with the illustrious Lady Elaphnia. I try to keep my distance, but Lear keeps moving closer as he drowns more of his drink. So, you scoundrel, which one first? I really think Callan is a thing for the ones who wear too many ruffles, so we could work up the charm on those. Yeah. Ah, those don't do it for me. How about the new heiress then? She's supposed to be a songstress as well. Might make your evening a little bit more melodic, if I do say so myself. Then you take her to choir practice while I find my sport elsewhere. Oh, who suddenly replaced your mood with Callan's? Really, Lear, you better just be teasing. There you are, Sir Lear. Lysianthus. A version of lilies and ivory rushes past me as Lady Lysianthus greets them both with an ethereal bow. With a permanent blush upon her face, she offers Lear a teasing look along with her hand. I hope neither of you are thinking of turning this event into some den of debauchery. Even the Queen was remarking earlier how they might need to restrict more of next ball's invitations. I suspect it must all be thanks to one of you two. Might it have been you, my dear Sir Lear? Your presence indeed comes with a certain reputation. You're going to have to try harder to get more than a little town gossip out of me, my lovely. That said, do continue. I do like watching you try. All right, then, let's see. Perhaps you'd fancy something a little less subtle, something a bit less subtle, like a pair of pleading eyes. I can't speak for Lear, but those surely work on me. Now, would you prefer I write those names down, or we find a corner to exchange them in whispers? You're terrible, Callister, but I do want those names. I hope this means you'll tell me what other trouble Sir Lear had gotten himself into at last ball. If you're asking about whether the king is annoyed with my lateness, then there's nothing more to be said. I explained my reason for why I let his precious son play the hero for the night. Yeah, she's gonna... Believe me, I did him a favor by doing so, more than any of you know. So there, now you've got your gossip for the day. Ah, but that wasn't what I wanted. I suppose this means I'll just have to come back and try harder next time. Much harder. You do know where to find me. Giggling, Lysanthus picks up her skirts. Lysanthus, yeah, and rushes off to rejoin her clan while Callister laughs into his drink. Forget Callan. Lysanthus has set her sights on you, you lucky bastards. Do you enjoy playing with fire? At the rate you're going, there won't be a suitor left pining for Callan anymore. That alone might be enough to start another war. Well, that's not so much of my problem as it's his, isn't it? Besides, that prince is probably waiting for someone to arrive to make his life less hellish. So you'll be seeing Lysanthus again, won't you? Or, oh, tell me you're not eyeing the maid. Is he really looking this way? Surely that means he's recognized me. The only thing standing between me and Lear is a single marble vase of Lunarian roses. Once the scent of cedarwood and aspen pine reaches my senses, however, there might as well be nothing between us at all. You know what? We're gonna offer him a cup of tea. If I try to make myself more invisible, he's only going to suspect me even more. After watching the other palace maids offer more tea to the guests, I quietly grab a teapot and head over to join them. Would either of you fine gentlemen like some more Mialira? I was about to cap myself on one, but you've just changed my mind. Just imagine what you'd be capable of convincing me next. Huh? What? What? Taking his cup back, Lear slyly toasts to me. To the dutiful maid, may her secrets be kept safe unless she dares to break my noble heart. In fact, why not promise me such a thing right now? After taking one long tantalizing sip, he offers his cup out to me for a taste. Go ahead, no one's looking. Is this his way of tormenting me? There's hardly any text on what Mialira could do to a mortal, and yet I know it wouldn't end well for my temptations. Yeah. That's exactly what he wants, doesn't he? After a moment's breath, I pull the teapot back. The drink is all yours, sir. I'll be fine with some simple crystal and water for today. Very well, then. Nothing still stops me from toasting in your honor, my noble maid. As Lear takes a sip, I catch Callister staring between the two of us. Would the kind maid be willing to serve me here too? Serve me too? Or are you only here to serve this rake? Don't listen to him. He's just sore that I've taken his crown for the time being that I'm visiting. And you're far more trustworthy than me? Huh, if only. Watch out for this one, maid, although I'm sure the staff has already warned you about him. Sure, yeah. Sharing a grin, Callister heads out into the crowd, leaving me with one very thirsty night. Oh, maid. I might need another refill, and perhaps another helping of moondust. Do you eat the moondust? You had plenty on your gown that night when you smelled of lavendered roses, so dare I ask what's happened now to my masked beauty? How did you know it was me? As it is, I may have a fairly decent inventory of the palace staff. None of them bear your aura, let alone have the power to make this uniform even more enticing than I already find it to be. Oh! Huh. I have to assume that you're only wearing this ensemble to tease me further. You certainly have a high opinion of yourself. Please keep your voice down. Contrary to what you might think, I had no knowledge you'd be here. Then why are you here disguised as a maid of all sultry things? Well, because... Prince! An anemone's shrill voice pulls me back to reality. She swoops in between us without so much as a glance at Lear. Hurry, hurry, I need my fan now! Prince Callan's about to arrive and I'm the only one without a fan. All right, I'll go get it. Did you remember to bring your fan this time? Well, of course I did. Is it not with my coat? How about with my bonnet? Shaking my head, I spot Lear force himself not to make a face as Anemone struggles to figure out another excuse to berate me. Well then, why didn't you remind me? Mother always reminds us to bring our things. If I may, I think the prince will have a better time drinking in your beauty if you're not hiding it behind such a bland fan. Damn. Another conversation where my name makes things... Yeah, he just wants to lick the moon dust off of our dress. But yeah, another conversation with where my name makes it confusing. Everyone else will be doing the same anyway, so why not be the marvelous rebel of the day?
Oh my, do you think so? Where are my manners, sir? You're new to the court, aren't you?
Consider me a fortunate visitor, my lady. Now, I believe you have a prince to appear for?
Of course, whatever you say, my good sir.
To my surprise, Anemone simply giggles before hurrying back to the banquet. So, you really are a maid. From our first encounter, I thought you knew I wasn't a welcome member of this court. I suspected it, but not because of your rank.
Then what else could it be?
With the guests gathered for Callan's arrival, Lear sees his chance to pull me out into the hall. What are you doing? My sisters will know where I've gone. Oh, is your sister demanding you as her housemaid? Now I really have to know more. Truth be told, I've been wanting to know more about you since that night. Oh. I've been seeing you in my dreams. Oh, and in other faces. What? Even without knowing what beauty was concealed behind that mask. Dare I say I was right in knowing that you'd surpass them all. My only regret is not getting the chance to keep something of yours, perhaps a button even, or maybe a ribbon. His fingers drift below, ready to slowly undo the knot on my bow. Perhaps next Masquerade, I just might get to claim my reward. Huh? Don't pretend you'll save a dance for me. Don't pretend you'll save a dance for me. We both know you'll be too busy claiming your other rewards. Oh, just like you'll be off trying to claim yours with the prince. Suddenly, we're not so different. We're just two ambitious souls searching for answers and doing whatever it takes to seize them. Actually, no, I'm not. The prince can
I'm more interested in you, my bro.
It's the least these Celestites can give to us, isn't it? For all the pain and grief they seem so easily forget. I just lack your sense of creativity when it comes to my disguises. And, might I say, I envy it.
Huh?
His fingers keep dancing along my ribbon as if he has all the time in the world. There isn't a shred of fear behind Lear's gaze, only excitement as he unclasps the brooch and lets it fall in my hands. Huh? Imagine if I thought to enter this court in my servant's disguise. Wouldn't that awaken something within you, too? What? What? Or have your senses awoken simply by knowing that your prince is on the other side of this wall? Huh? Perhaps he could even hear us, all these breathless whispers, and all while he's forced to put on his mask yet again. I think he does like to RP. He likes roleplay. So while he pines for his mysterious beauty, little does he know that button by button, ribbon by ribbon, I'm closer to the truth than he ever will be. All I ask for is answers, however you see fit to tattoo them into my mind. What? Sir, I'm confused. What more could you possibly want to know now that I have no mask on? You might think there's more to my secret, but there really isn't. The life you see here is exactly how it's been for as long as I can remember. That's all the more reason why you should come find me again. I know that we can't talk here for much longer, but I don't want to let you go without assuring you that Vestim isn't far beyond your reach. It never was supposed to be to begin with, no matter what they say.
How would you know that?
Lear, have you been to Vestim? Before you can answer, the door swings open. Lear, is this where you've taken your maid? Are you both trying to get caught? Don't insult me like that, Callister. I was only giving the dear maid a word of advice against her employers. And what might that be? It's nothing in your interest. Common folk talk, that's all it is. I don't mind imparting what I've learned along my journeys, especially when this court seems to particularly enjoy their game of charades. Speaking of charades, you might want to come and see the competition at their most daring. Callan looks like he's practically ready to turn into a beast himself and go howling into the night, then to greet his wanton suitors. If only we could punish the penumbral beast itself in the same way. Trapped in a sea of suitors, all adored in their masks. As he lets Callister lead the way, Lear can't help himself from reaching for my arm one last time. I'll let you return to your duties now, but you really should consider tearing yourself away from yours every once in a while. Okay, we're gonna drop a save. No! I hit load! You know what? You know what? You know what? God bless it. God bless it. That tells me it's time to go to bed. That tells me it's time to go to bed. All right, all right. Yeah, that's my sign to go to bed. Well, thank you very much, Nutchy Studios, for allowing me to play this game tonight. I really appreciate it. I have enjoyed it. Despite the fact that my arrowness was very much I failed miserably the first go around. Yeah. So yeah, the pinned comment on Twitch and I did put it in YouTube chat, and I will be putting it into the YouTube description because I realized I forgot the app. Is how you can find this game and wishlist it if it is something that you are interested in. Yeah, rip with the load button. That lets me know that I'm tired, though. I was gonna call stream anyway, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, both out of game and in-game prints, we're doing our best to sabotage stuff. But yeah, all right, well, with all of that, it's time to pop over here. All right, you all know the usual song and dance. If you're not already following me on social media, appreciate it very much if you would. As well, if you're not already a member of our Discord server, I would love to see you there. Oh man, that was a great way to end stream. Prince fucks up and then goes, yeah, you know what? All right, well, yeah. Thank you, everybody. So much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, pretty much. And again, thank you very much, Nutchy Studios, for letting me play the game. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful meowing, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. And, well, without any further ado,
Bye. Bye.